What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another episode of WNN. I'm your host, Massive Hater, and today we'll be checking out some news. I have a confession to make. In our last video, I said there was no news, and that's like a half-truth. There was news, but there was nothing I can make a clickable title out of. Finally, I found a way to turn this into a news video that people will click on, so we've got some news. In our first story, you may remember a few months back, I made a video about this NFT marketplace called HITPIECE that was basically a large scam. They were using people's likenesses without telling them. So the NFT auction site known as HITPIECE is now relaunching, but HITPIECE was actually a very ironic name for them to have on their website. If I remember correctly, I think they were using some sort of like Spotify scraper to put a bunch of people's music on there. I think my music was on there. This time, the site is working with content recognition company Audible Magic to help verify ownership of new music prior to minting of an NFT, thus ensuring only legitimate content is distributed. Hallelujah. Artists can now head to hitpiece.com and register to be verified. Oh yeah, I can't wait to do that. I definitely trust these people a lot. It originally beta launched in 2021, and they faced massive backlash because lots of artists had no idea NFTs were being made of their songs. The fiasco also prompted a swift response from the Recording Industry Association of America, which demanded HITPIECE cease its operations, denouncing the site's outright theft of valuable intellectual property rights as brazen. Fans were led to believe they were purchasing an NFT genuinely associated with an artist and their work when that was not at all the case. The site's contents were eventually removed, replaced by a message on the landing page. We started the conversation and we're listening. Well, I think they were all yelling at you. No legal action has been taken against HITPIECE thus far. Damn, that's crazy. I remember seeing tons of artists threatening to sue them on Twitter. Is it possible they didn't mean that? Nah, there's no way people would say something on the internet they don't mean, right? I'm surprised they didn't just change the company name, because there's no way. Well, first off, HITPIECE is a terrible name for something like this. You couldn't paint a better joke picture, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't see how this could be too successful. I don't know. NFTs are on the downswing. They have a massive hurdle to get over here with whatever the fuck you want to call that, a fiasco, or what the RA calls as, what was it? A borderline scam. But if you guys want to check out HITPIECE, feel free to do so. I will not be doing that. Used gear. In our next story, SWEETWATER is getting into the used gear market. What does this mean for Reverb, eBay, and even Craigslist? It's probably not good. It's probably not good for them. Okay, so this one happened a couple weeks ago, but it slid under the radar for me. Mostly, but probably because I don't buy used gear. I'm a risk taker, but not with gear. I do not take risks with gear. Yeah, there's people who are trying to get rid of something that they don't like, but there's also people that are trying to get rid of something that there's something wrong with it. And I'm just paranoid of being unlucky enough to be paired with one of those people. Personally, I stay away from used things unless I know it's something that cannot be fucked up. Registered and verified users can list individual items or even build their own gear exchange storefronts, with customization options aplenty, making this a viable option for existing used instrument stores, both virtual and real. The service requires detailed shots of the actual gear on sale and will reward trusted, verified sellers with badges displaying the length of their gear exchange tenure. I mean, I would honestly hope so. I don't know why they I almost feel like you don't need to say that. The gear exchange provides music makers and gearheads the opportunity to find a common place to buy and sell items, sharing the remarkable stories behind each unique piece. Oh brother. They're waiving all selling fees until October 31st if SWEETWATER gift cards are the form of payment. I'm curious if there's any OP ones on here. There's some OP ones, no OP one fields though. Not because I want to buy it. I have a feeling people buy these and they're like, hey, wait a minute. This thing sucks. It tells you how long someone's been a customer for. I guess that's pretty useful. You know that they're a real person and didn't just make their account like yesterday or something. Don't sell music related items. Damn it, I can't sell my car on here. I've never seen someone this excited about a piece of gear in my whole life. News. Next up, NEKTAR launches the WIDIFLEX and WIDIFLEX USB. Really weird names there. Wireless MIDI is what it is. I'm gonna need you guys to pretend like that one was done with the news screen behind me. MIDI cables are of course essential ingredients in MIDI setup, but they tend to get in the way as they are hardly ever the right length, and they keep keyboard players from moving around freely on stage. Enter NEKTAR WIDIFLEX and WIDIFLEX USB. I like how they're acting like wireless MIDI doesn't already exist. These new wireless MIDI products with high performance Bluetooth BLE MIDI help getting rid of those cables. Plugged into the device's MIDI sockets, auto pairing takes care of instant setup and connects WIDIFLEX, I hate that name, automatically with other BLE MIDI or WIDI products. As WIDIFLEX is powered from the device's MIDI bus, it does not require any external power supply. Yeah, that would totally just ruin everything though. If you had to use a power supply for something wireless, kind of gets rid of the wireless function function, I feel like. So it's available for MIDI and also for USB. The WIDIFLEX USB is a USB dongle that adds Bluetooth BLE MIDI to all major operating systems, delivering an even better performance than integrated BLE MIDI solutions. They both use Bluetooth 5, the range is up to 20 meters, and the device latency is as low as 3 milliseconds. I did some research online, and it seems like they're actually not really bringing anything that new to the table, at least from what I could tell. Almost all wireless MIDI goes down to as low as 3 milliseconds. They're either between 10 to 20 meters of range. Shitty. Next up, we've got some inspiring words. Let's go check that out. FKJ recently said in an interview, "I don't think there's any MIDI on this album. I find clicking on a laptop very uninspiring." Not sure if he knows this, but you can use MIDI without a laptop. Oh. So it seems like they actually took him out of context here in the title. What he actually said is, "I don't think there's any MIDI on this album. It's all coming from audio sources." They may want to include that part next time. In our next story, Antares is offering a free choir plugin for anyone who signs up for a 14-day trial of their subscription service. Boo! I mean, free plugins are good, but boo! Subscription service. Blah. I've got a subscription service for you right here, pal. In our next story, there's an updated version of VOLTA Create, a free visual program that quite a few artists have used in the past. VOLTA Create lets artists generate high-quality visuals which can be streamed on platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, Mixcloud, or TikTok. The latest version promises designs and aesthetics used by Bonobo, Jamie Jones, TSHA, and more during headline shows at Glastonbury. VOLTA Create purports to be the first software of its kind. It's free, does not require any specialized knowledge or skill set, and is compatible with all desktops. Among VOLTA Create's features are custom resolutions that allow users to choose any rectilinear resolution, a new graphic generator to facilitate text, shapes, and kaleidoscope effects, Ableton Link effects and MIDI mapping for a range of DJ devices. Forward-thinking electronic artist Imogen Heap has endorsed the software, having used VOLTA Create to generate visual effects in the video for the song Last Night of an Empire. I will actually be checking this one out. A lot of times I'm here to just announce things. Sometimes I use the things I announce. This one I will definitely be checking out. Very interesting. And it's free. In our next story, Spotify is now testing out ticket sales directly to fans. Spotify is testing a new website to sell tickets to music events directly to fans, which could set it apart from streaming competitors such as Apple Music and Amazon Music, and spark new competition with existing giants in the ticketing business. I hope those fees are not insane. At Spotify, we routinely test new products and ideas to improve our user experience. Tickets.spotify.com is our latest test. We have no further news to share on future plans at this time. Wow, they really do have a one-up on their competition here because they know the analytics of everyone listening to music. They have the analytics and they control, I'm pretty sure, the biggest music listening platform. Good luck, Ticketmaster. Wouldn't want to be in competition with Spotify right now. At the time, the publication sources suggested Spotify wasn't keen on competing with major players such as Live Nation, but instead was looking to prove its relationship with artists. Yeah, that's what I tell my competition too. Can you guys hear that? I don't like the sound of it. In our next story, there's a new program on the block for improved critical listening called FREQUIA. I think I'm saying that right. Again, strange name. I feel like everyone nowadays just comes up with a strange name for their product because there's nothing else left to name your product. Zipper Noise has unveiled a brand new technical ear training program known as FREQUIA, which aims to improve your critical listening so you're more likely to notice any pesky notches. Users will learn how to identify and correct problem frequencies faster, sculpt sounds with more accuracy, and hear increasingly subtle differences in timbre. You can choose from 8 industry standard equalizers and 5 training modes across 81 different training setups, which gives users over 3,200 unique training scenarios. For those who are skeptical, there's a 10-day free trial available to download now, and its regular price is at $59. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Nothing else really to say about that. News. In our next story, someone may have violated an NDA. And it wasn't me. AUTECHRE nearly created the soundtrack for Metroid Prime, and he says I am violating an NDA technically by saying this, so I don't know why he's telling them. During a recent marathon 6-hour AMA on Twitch, ironically titled Quick AMA. That's how they get you on Twitch. Booth was asked to explain AUTECHRE's mention on the iconic science fiction adventure game for Nintendo GameCube. It turns out the explorative electronic duo at that time between the albums Confield and Draft 7.3 very nearly provided the music for the game, an opportunity they relished at the time but were not eventually given. Could you please explain your mention in the Metroid Prime credits? Booth read from the thread aloud before reflecting, well, I can now because they've talked about it themselves, even though I am violating an NDA technically by saying this. And then Nintendo kind of borked it for some reason and wanted their guy to do it, continued Booth, so that was that really. In our next story, IK Multimedia has announced AMPLITUBE TONEX, a complete software ecosystem based on their new AI machine modeling technology that lets users model their own rig and play and practice and record with thousands of already available realistic tone models of amps and pedals. Described as a revolutionary concept in rig modeling, it uses AI machine modeling technology to let users model the sound of any amp, cabinet, combo, or pedal, like fuzz, distortion, overdrive, EQ, booster, and turn it into a plugin, all with ease and sonic accuracy. And a sonic accuracy that IK says is virtually indistinguishable from the real thing. Users can share their user-generated tone models, and they can also play more than 1,000 premium tone models available in TONEX. Works standalone and is a plugin for all major DAWs, and it's available seamlessly inside of AMPLITUBE 5. It's also available for iPhone and iPad, so there's a bunch of different versions here. Looks like $99, $149, $249, and $199. In our next story, Sampleson says that their new piano is only 60 megabytes but sounds like something that is 30 gigabytes. How is that possible? Let's find out. There's not a lot of information on it except it uses the Spectral Engine 2.0, and there's a full decay for every note up to 90 seconds at the lowest registers with no looping and no velocity switching. Runs on PC, entry price of $59, regular price will be $89. I feel like they're throwing shade at somebody. Somebody with a 30 gigabyte piano is having some shade thrown on them right now. I don't know who it is because I feel like there's a lot of people that could be, and probably like someone, some contact library, maybe that's Spitfire Audio. I don't know exactly. I mean, it sounds pretty legit to me. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with them. It does sound like something that might be 30 gigabytes. The fact that their name is Sample Son, which is hilarious to me. Sample Son. Now for some really important news. A Scottish 25-year-old man was fined a large amount of money for rapping Wu-Tang lyrics that included the N-word in a lady's bathroom. Quite the insane sentence, I know. It was actually not that much money he got fined. At least he was rapping Protecting Neck. I'm just confused why this man was in the ladies' bathroom. Kyle Siegel had entered the ladies' bathroom at Scalloway Boating Club, where he proceeded to sing along to the song on TikTok. A mixed-race lady in a cubicle heard Siegel use the slur, confronted the man, an argument ensued upon which the police were called, and this person stayed there for some reason. While Siegel did not know there was anyone in the cubicle at the time, he admitted to disorderly behavior by entering the ladies' bathroom while a number of people were present and publicly said the N-word. Siegel was fined £500 for the offense and ordered to pay an additional £20 victim surcharge. He had to give her $20. Is that, am I reading this correctly? Alright, well this was a wacky story. The part I don't get is what was he doing in the ladies' bathroom? Our next story here will help you put on some weight. Onto your sounds, that is. In our next story, T-Warmer promises to ground your sounds with weight and warmth. Promises to add near instant thickness to your sounds. The harmonic saturator offers 4 different high quality harmonic saturations. You can apply the saturation to certain frequency ranges, only between 20 Hz and 600 Hz though. You can also apply a compression-like effect to instruments. Can you only do it to instruments? I'm confused here. Let's look at this demonstration video here. I mean, that did sound pretty nice on that. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide in the comics. Is this gimmick or fire? I mean, it seems kind of fire to me. I mean, they're using some buzzwords here, but I mean, the sound doesn't lie. All right, guys. That's it for this episode of WNN. It's been quite a doozy here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of all these new plugins, these stories down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and like if you haven't. I'm trying to get to 20,000 by the end of the year. So I'd appreciate the subscription if you enjoyed the content. If you didn't enjoy the content, I don't know why you're still watching right now. Make sure to check out my Patreon and affiliate links if you want to support the channel. If you join my Patreon, I drop a new exclusive kit every month. Including drums or melody loops. There's also some exclusive videos here and there. Maybe upload videos a little early for you guys here and there, not all the time. I do it when I can though. But yeah, please follow my social medias. I'm getting ratioed hard. Getting ratioed so hard.
Bang Incorporated.